Welcome class back to Chapter 8, Using Styles and Style Sheets for Design. This video is going to cover our second lesson, which is Modify Embedded Styles. So to edit a rule, we're going to select the rule in the CSS Designer's Selectors pane, enter the new settings in the Properties pane. Any changes that you make to the rule are automatically reflected on the page. All elements to which the rule is applied are updated to reflect the change. When you use the Property Inspector to format a web page element, such as a standard HTML tag such as H1 is added to that element. You might want to change the definition of an HTML tag to add more pizzazz to the elements that have that tag. You have used the CSS Designers panel to create and edit selector properties and values. So once you master the basics of managing your selectors, you can learn to use several more advanced features of the CSS Designers panel. So for example, we can copy styles. We can copy styles from a particular class, a particular HTML element, and then we can go ahead and paste those styles into another area. So let's go ahead and practice pages 12 through 17. So beginning on page 12, we're going to modify the contact_info rule that we talked about in lesson 1 video. So we're going to go ahead and change the color of contact info to black. Okay, so that is modified. You can barely see the change because there's not that much change. But let's just say we had, let's go like this. And hit enter. There is the red. Okay, so once I change that back to black, then you will be able to see the update automatically happen. Okay. So, and we've seen that as we've gone through and used the CSS Designers panel throughout this course. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and create a new embedded style in another page. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this page real quickly and open up the Cafe page. And in here, we're going to create a new source. We're going to define in page. And it's going to be the new selector of HR. Now, HR is a tag. It's the horizontal rule tag. So be careful when you're entering in your selectors that if it's a tag, you're not putting a period in front of it. Okay, if it's a class, something that you're just creating, something, you know, like contact_info, then of course you need to prefix it with a period. Okay, so this one we're going to add some borders to. So I'm going to go ahead and get to Style and HR, and then go ahead and apply the border. So the border is border top, and the width is thin, style of solid, and then our color is, just a note again that when you have the first two numbers the same, the second two numbers the same, and the last two numbers are identical, you can shortcut it by just typing 006 for this example. Okay, so now this is affecting the horizontal rules. Okay, so it's giving them a blue. And this is defined in that Cafe page. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and look how external or how embedded rules will override external rules. So before I do that, I'm just going to show you that here in our style sheet, globally, and I'm going to find body. So here is body. I'm going to go ahead and look at its styles. So here is what's applied to body. We have the water.jpg, and we can see it here in live view, water.jpg. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an embedded page style here in Cafe. So click on plus and click on body or enter body. And then I'm going to go ahead and apply a background. Okay, so a new background image. So I'll navigate to the data files. And this one we want to do this water blue green. Now I want you to watch your screen, okay, as this happens. Okay, now we have this new background image. It's applied down here in the head section. We know that this is a page style and it's only applied to this particular page. If I jump back and look at index, I still have that other image, okay, that image that's coming from the style sheet. So again, this one is overriding, okay, overriding what is defined in the external style sheet. Okay, we don't want that because we want to have consistency. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this style. So I'll just go click on minus for remove selector, and then we are back to our external style sheet that is applied for body. Now we're going to practice moving from one source to the other, okay? So we're actually going to copy our styles, and then we're going to create a new selector in our style sheet and apply those styles. So we are going to come back to the index page. We're going to look at contact info. Okay, so we're going to right click on contact info, copy all styles. So if we click on the show set first, we can see that there will be 3 styles that will be copied. So copy all styles. Then we're going to come up to SU styles. We're going to go to global and then define the new selector, and we'll just call it the same thing. So contact info has no styles, but we're going to right click on it and paste styles. Okay, once I do that, I see the 3 that I had applied before. Now this is going to be external, so now I can apply it to multiple pages. So I'm going to click on style first, and I'm going to go ahead and remove. You can remove the selector if you want, or you can just remove the style section altogether. So I'm going to click on the minus for sources and remove that. And now I notice if I scroll up into my head section, I no longer have a style section either. Okay, style is still applied because now it's in the external style sheet defined globally. So if I come down all the way to the bottom, I see that contact info is there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and apply, or we're actually going to remove. We're going to do the same process with the horizontal rule. So horizontal rule will copy all styles, come to SU styles, global, add the new selector of HR, right click, paste styles. Okay, I got my 3 borders. Come back to style on the sources pane and then click minus. Okay, so now we removed all of our page styles and everything has now been applied to the external style sheet. So what we need to do now on page 17 is actually apply our new contact information to all the pages, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and save all here first, and then I'm going to come to page 17. So let's get to page 17 here. Okay, so there is page 17. So use Live View Property Inspector to apply selectors. So we're going to go to the About Us page. I'm going to go ahead and close my, or drag my CSS Designers panel over here. Okay, so here is my About Us page. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove my formatting first. Okay, so again, you can use the Live View or the Design View with the Property Inspector. I'm going to remove the formatting of the EM tag, and then click out, click back in, and click the plus symbol, and then type in, start typing the period, and then contact info. Okay, so that is the About Us page. Now we're going to go over to Activities. We're going to do cruises, fishing, and spa. So I'm going to get all of these open so that I don't have to continually click back to them. So activities, we're going to remove the formatting first, okay, and then add the formatting back in. Okay, so contact info. Okay, to cruises, the same process. And then lastly, our fishing. Okay, so we're going to remove the EM, and then we're going to go ahead and add in contact info. Okay, so that's all of our pages that have our address information on them. So I'm going to go ahead and save all. Okay, one more step on page 17 that we need to complete, and that is to open the cafe page, and then we're going to replace it with this new shrimp. There's not much change between the image, but it's just to show you how to use the live view property inspector. So again, what page is this? Cafe page. So we'll click on the image, okay, and then we're going to click on this menu icon here to edit the HTML attributes. So here is the source. We're going to navigate to our data files. And the new shrimp bisque, and click OK. Yes, you want to overwrite it. Okay, and then we need to apply some alternate text. Okay, so I'm just going to say shrimp bisque. Okay, always want to have alternate text for your images. Okay, so that is lesson 2. I think before I wrap up lesson 2, I'm just going to show you an example of an embedded style. Or not embedded style, an inline style. So for example, an inline style would be this. So if I come into paragraph and I type in style equals, and I say color colon, and I'm going to just use something that looks terrible. I'm just going to use red. Okay, so now this paragraph and this paragraph only has that formatting. So again, it's a way to test. So if you know how to write the CSS code, you can just apply it this way, style equal, because this is an attribute of an HTML tag, equal, and then we have our quotes we separate with colons, and in a semicolon. Okay, I could further go, not style, but font dash style, and then I could choose italic. Okay, and now I see that my paragraph is italicized. Again, the only purpose of this is just to test. Okay, I could do this like we practiced, defining in page using the embedded style, and then it would apply to all the paragraphs. Okay, but again, only testing purposes because we want all of our rules, our CSS rules, to be in our external style sheet. I would then, if I were to move this over to my style sheet, I would need to go ahead and actually copy this code, physically move it over to the style sheet. And so it's a little bit more complex in the step of moving it over than it is using an embedded style and moving it over. Okay, that is lesson 2.